Hello, I'm Renee. I'm a scientist and I also love reading stories. So I thought it might be nice to read a bedtime story that's all about science. In fact, it's this book, The Most Magnificent Thing, and it's by the author Ashley Spires. And this book is all about a little girl who tries to make things and it doesn't always go quite to plan, which happens to me quite a lot. So let's see. The Most Magnificent Thing. This is a regular girl, just like me and just like some of you, and her best friend in the whole wide world, this little dog here. They do all kinds of things together. They race, they eat, they explore, and they relax. She makes things, he unmakes things. Do you have a friend who does that kind of thing? One day, the girl has a wonderful idea. She is going to make the most magnificent thing. I wonder what it's going to be. She knows just how it will look. She knows just how it will work. All she has to do is make it. And she makes things all the time. Easy peasy. First, she hires an assistant. He looks very accomplished. Next, they gather their supplies. They set up somewhere out of the way and get to work. The girl tinkers and hammers and measures, while her assistant pounces and growls and chews. That doesn't sound particularly helpful yet. When she is finished, she steps back to admire her work. She walks around one side. Her assistant examines the other side. It doesn't look right. Her assistant picks it up and gives it a shake. It doesn't feel right either. They are shocked to discover that the thing isn't magnificent or good. It isn't even kind of sort of okay. It is all wrong. The girl tosses it aside and gives it another go. Good for her. She smooths and wrenches and fiddles. Her assistant circles and tugs and wags. When she is finished, she stands up and takes a long look at it. Her assistant gives it a nudge with his paw. The thing is still wrong. She decides to try again. The girl saws and glues and adjusts. She stands and examines and stores. She twists and tweaks and fastens. She fixes and straightens and studies. She tries all different ways to make it better. She makes it square. She makes it round. She gives it legs. She adds antennae. She makes it fuzzy. She makes it long, short, rough, smooth, big, small. One even smells of stinky cheese. But none of them are magnificent. Her hard work attracts a few admirers, but they don't understand. They can't see the magnificent thing that she has in her mind. Do you get magnificent things in your mind? I do all the time. She gets mad. The angrier she gets, the faster she works. She smashes pieces into shapes. She jams parts together. She pummels the little bits in. Her hands feel too big to work, and her brain is too full of all the not right things. If only the thing would just work. Crunch. Ow! The pain starts in her finger. It rushes up to her brain and she explodes. It is not her finest moment. I'm no good at this. I quit. Her assistant suggests a walk. It's not much help at first. She's looking very glum, miserable. But before long, she starts to feel different. Bit by bit, the mad gets pushed out of her head. As they stroll along, she comes across the first wrong thing she made. The bad feelings are about to start all over again. Then she notices something surprising. There are some parts of the wrong things that are really quite right. The bolts on one, the shape of another, the wheel to seat ratio of the next. There are all sorts of parts that she likes. By the time she reaches the end of the trail, she finally knows how to make the magnificent thing. She gets to work. She works carefully and slowly, tinkering, hammering, twisting, fiddling, gluing, painting. Her assistant makes sure there are no distractions. This is the perfect thing. Ward off bears. This will stop that leak. This one's all wet. The afternoon fades into evening. Finally, she finishes. She alerts her assistant. I can't wait to see it. The pair take a good long look. It leans a little to the left, and it's a bit heavier than expected. The colour could use a bit of work too, but it's just what she wanted. They climb aboard and take it for a spin. They are not disappointed. It really is the most magnificent thing. And doesn't that look fun for taking your little assistant out for a ride? So that story just shows us that if we keep trying and keep testing, even if things go wrong, actually that's how we find out how to make exactly what we had in mind. And sometimes it's a bit tough. Sometimes things don't go to plan, but eventually you get something out at the end that makes you feel really, really amazing and like you've achieved something great. And that is what scientists and engineers do all the time. So I hope you enjoyed that book, The Most Magnificent Thing by Ashley Spires. And I will read another book. I have a lot of sciencey books on my bookshelf, funnily enough, next time.